you all for coming. Sorry, there aren't enough chairs, but do I need this? Thank you all for coming to the first YJP Women's event, despite the cold and rainy weather. We really appreciate you being here tonight. For those who don't know, YJP is an organisation designed to support and inspire young Jewish professionals as they begin their careers. The purpose of YJP Women is to have a forum specifically to bring young women together to network and build a community as we begin our professional journey. Before we begin, a big thank you to Simon and Chloe De Winter for letting us host this event in their head office. Round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. And I'd now like to invite Achinoam Hersham and Chloe De Winter up to the stage. Thank you. Do we need the mic or should we go without mic?
No, we need
with mic? We'll go with the mic. Hello. How are you? We just met a couple minutes ago, but now we're going to learn so much more about each other. Thank you again for coming. We're very excited, and everyone is here because of you. I think everyone in this room has heard about Nala and is fascinated by your story and wants to hear all about it. A lot of us see the ads on Facebook, on Instagram, and have definitely purchased a bra or two. So tell us a bit about how you got here. Where did you start?
Sure. So thanks everyone for coming. I just wanted to ask, had you all heard of Nala before this event? Had anyone not? Come on. Oh, I saw a hand go up, but then you got scared and you went down. Oh, another one. Okay, cool. Another one. Okay, yeah, they're all coming out now. Okay, cool. So thanks for your support. I'm glad you've heard of us. And if we have been aggressively targeting you with ads, I apologise right now. Starting Nala, having an underwear brand definitely wasn't on my personal bingo card. It's not something I literally ever imagined I would ever do. I'm a physiotherapist, studied physio after school and thought that was just going to be my life. And then moved to New York with my husband back in 2017 and really went into the Pilates world at that time and was loving doing Pilates and teaching Pilates over there. And then COVID happened, lost my job and launched an online Pilates business. And then at that point in my life, I thought that was going to be my forever job and I loved it. I was so passionate about it. And then a few years after that, we just sort of recognised that in the Australian market, there was really a lack of, there wasn't a underwear brand out there that really spoke to us, a brand that created really amazing products for a really diverse range of people, a diverse range of sizes and all different women that actually represent our society. Also, when we looked at the brands out there, there was nothing that really spoke to us that was really fun and out there and inclusive. It was all like Victoria's Secret, like one perfect skinny body type that was like drilled into our brains, like this is what you should look like and here are the uncomfortable bras that you should buy. And we just saw a huge opportunity. Simon over here, shout out Simon, this is my father-in-law Simon, this is his office, has a couple of amazing brands in the underwear industry, and so we were able to utilize a lot of his connections and resources to create these amazing products and build this brand. And now we launched in 2022, so we're 2.5 years in, and yeah, Nala is a lot bigger than I ever imagined. So I'm very grateful that we've come this far and that we have this amazing brand.
Yeah, it's a pretty remarkable journey, I'm sure. Like, I certainly didn't expect you to be a physio and then come all this way. And I think a lot of us are young and starting our careers, but that will probably be the case for so many people in this room. You start in one place and end up in a totally different space. And you were speaking about how you utilised your connections to be able to build an underwear business. What other kinds of challenges did you face throughout building a startup and trying to scale it?
There are so many challenges with a new business. We worked on Nala for a full year before we actually launched. It was kind of easier before we actually launched because a lot of the big problems probably weren't there yet. Like, we could kind of do it at our own pace, and I mean, we wanted to get it out there as quickly as possible, but there was no real pressure, no real big problems and fires to put out. When it comes to building a brand, the hardest part is actually stock. So when you start a brand and you want to order stock, for us it's bras and underwear, there's always minimum quantities that you have to order, so you have to sort of commit, like, okay, you can't just be like, okay, I want to order like 20 bras and 20 undies and then see if they sell and then order more. The minimums at one of the factories we work with was actually 3,000 bras per colour. So say you want to launch a brand and you're like, okay, we need to release a black bra because everyone wants to buy a black bra. Okay, cool. That could be 3,000, maybe you get it down to 2,000, maybe 1,000. But then you think, okay, but then we want to do a blue one and a pink one. That's another 1,000 and another 1,000. And suddenly you have to buy all this stock, and that's really hard to grow. Or it's really hard to invest in that much stock when you haven't made a sale yet. And I remember the first day we launched, just looking at Bill, my husband, being like, is anyone going to buy a bra? Like, are we going to sell anything? Like, how do we know people are going to buy anything? And it was just like this fear that no one was going to actually buy. And luckily they did, and which is great. We've been able to build on that. But that stock is like the biggest challenge, I would say, for us.
And what kind of like changes has the business undergone since you started? Like, you had those stock challenges, and did you make changes to materials or your manufacturers and things like that to be able to make it profitable?
We haven't made any massive changes. I think as we've grown, there's just been like organic changes within the business. So we've been able to grow our team. At the start, there was just me and Phil, and we brought one other person, a friend of mine, on, Simi, and the three of us like worked and did absolutely everything that you had to do within a business. And like, you could just learn to do anything because you could just Google everything. So you can chat GPT everything. I wish that existed then, because that would have made my life a lot easier. Now it like knows all my secrets and everything. But yeah, we've been able to grow now. We have 9 people in Melbourne and we have 4 overseas. And yeah, we've just been able to grow and with that obviously make changes and bring amazing people on board. But we haven't, I feel like when we started, we had really good foundation in the business, and we've been able to just expand on that and learn and grow from that.
Yeah, and I guess as an entrepreneur, like you often hear about how it seeps into your personal life and your family life and how it can become all-encompassing. So on a personal level, like, how has it impacted you being a founder, and how have you taken those challenges on board?
It's been really hard. I think when I started my Pilates business, I went really hard on socials and I tried really hard to build an online presence. That was part of my strategy, to like try and get followers so that I could get bigger reach and I could get more subscribers to my platform. That was my strategy. And a big part of that was turning myself into the brand, which a lot of businesses do really well today and a lot of founders do really well. But it comes with this huge added responsibility that you have to open up your life to the world, which can sometimes be nice and sometimes be awful online. And it's interesting, like the last couple of years, I share way less now, but I know when I do share more, it's good for the business. So it's always like this internal battle that I have, like, how much do I want to share? If I share this, it'll probably boost my engagement and we get more engagement, which means we can potentially get more sales. Like, that's how it works. And when your business is your livelihood, you have your own business, there's this like added pressure even more. Plus, I'm in business with my husband, so it's our whole family's income is based on this business and the success of the business. So it's hard, and everyone sort of has to make a call about how much they want to open up their lives to the online world, yeah.
And within, I guess, the underwear industry or the market, how does it feel being a woman and having that leadership role? Do you feel that you faced kind of adversity, or is it pretty saturated with like-minded women?
I'd say the latter. I had such good experiences being a co-founder as a woman, For me personally, I know that's not everyone's experience, but the best part about it is that it's opened me up to this network of other amazing female founders, and everyone is so supportive. Like, since we started Nala, I've built a connection with and a relationship with the founders of The Memo, of Frank Body, Mia Friedman, who runs Mamma Mia, like all these incredible women who have these amazing businesses. Founder of Adore Beauty, like, has helped us over the years, and that's been the best part. And I think as women now in these leadership roles, now having businesses, we understand the challenges and there's this want to help other women succeed, and that's how you do it, by sharing your experiences, sharing your failures, and learning from each other's mistakes, which has been honestly an amazing part about it. And I think like that would be what I encourage everyone in this room to do, is like keep building connections with other women who are doing things that you're doing or are doing things that you want to do, because that's where you'll gain so much knowledge and insight into where you want to go next.
Yeah, and I think that's really inspiring for a lot of us to hear, because often the response will be, it's been really challenging and often surrounded by an industry full of men, but hearing from someone that you've had a really positive experience and you're using those relationships.
I will say as well, sorry, it's my thing. I will say as well, I have worked in industries that are like very female dominated, like bras. There's not that many men. Our whole team is women except Phil, and before that, like doing Pilates, like Pilates is mostly just chicks, I'll be honest, which is amazing. Like, I love working with women, but I've had really great experience.
Yeah, and growing up in a Jewish community, how has that influenced the way that you've perceived leadership and your role as a leader?
That's interesting. I answer that question differently in light of probably recent events. I'd say I've always had a very strong connection with my Jewish identity, but I haven't felt it cross over so much into my business life as I have more recently. After October 7th, I'll tell a story that sort of defines this. After October 7th, Phil and I decided we wanted to make a donation to an Israeli charity who was supporting the victims of October 7th, and it was something we felt great about. We did it through Nala. We were so confident in that decision, and we wanted to share that. So at the time, we said, okay, we're going to put up an Instagram story on our Nala page and say, we've made this donation on behalf of the business, and our hearts are with everyone who was affected. And that was kind of it, right? We got a few people slide into the DMs at the time with comments that I'm sure you can imagine, but nothing much happened. And then a few months later, it just out of nowhere, we suddenly got blacklisted, and in some dark area of the internet. I actually think it was on Twitter. It started, and then from there it just snowballed and became this massive thing, and we got branded as this Zionist brand who supports and funds genocide. So if you buy from this brand, you love genocide. That was basically the narrative. We were getting hundreds of comments on our posts on Instagram. We were getting DMs saying, you shouldn't sell bodysuits, you should sell body bags, that's who you are. They looked at everyone we followed on our personal Instagram accounts. They looked at every video Phil had ever liked on Twitter. I mean, that's quite exposing. It was awful, and that really it affected both of us. And you asked about sharing things online before. That experience really changed how much we share online. I mean, it doesn't change our Jewish identity. In fact, it probably strengthens our Jewish identity and our support for Israel. But in a way, it kind of forced us to want to be more private with it and almost keep the business a little bit separate, because we are then balancing okay, we want to be vocal about what we support, but at the same time, we're now scared for ourselves and our family's safety. And the sad thing is that in 2025, having a business, being a Jewish person and owning a business comes with added challenges that probably weren't there, or that were there maybe that I didn't recognize 3-4 years ago, which, is interesting and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I might open up for some questions. Yeah? Should we? What's that? Yeah.
How did you deal with the backlash from the post? What were the things that you did to triage and manage it?
Yeah, so when it all happened, we actually had no idea what to do because we didn't really have there's no blueprint, there's no guide of like what to do in this situation, but we were, we reached out to people who we knew were in similar positions at the time to guide, and this is again like the world of female founders and how amazing they are. We reached out to the founders of Tubes, I don't know if you know Tubes, the footwear brand, who face a similar situation only just weeks before us. I reached out to Mia Freeman, who I mentioned before, who I had a connection with, to ask her for advice, and they both were amazing, and they also introduced us to a lot of other people who really supported us in what to do in that scenario. And the advice was pretty much just delete everything, like block everyone, report everyone that's doing anything, and front facing, pretend like everything is peachy and fine. And then we just internally just did things to make sure we were protected, that our staff felt protected as well, because we were nervous that someone was going to come up, show up at our workplace or do things like that. So we had to sit down with our staff and say, look, this is what's happening. We want you to feel safe, supported. And yeah, we still, to be honest, we still deal with it a bit today. We get influencers and content creators messaging us from, I'd say it happens probably now less frequently, once a month or so, to be like, hi, I just posted a really hot selfie in Nala bra and undies, and I got messages saying that now I love genocide. Like, what's that about? And we have to deal with that. So it's ongoing. Yeah, sad.
I saw that Nala was in David Jones, which is pretty huge and amazing. Just plug. That's an amazing achievement. I was wondering if you have any other future goals, and also can you explain a bit about the journey to getting to David Jones?
Yeah, sure. When we launched Nala, we actually didn't think we would do any sort of wholesale. It was like very much online. We thought we would get much better cut through just going direct to consumer, like mostly through ads and through big like marketing ideas like the giant boob. I don't know if anyone saw that. Things like that. But as time went on, we sort of realized as a business, it's really the best strategy is to really diversify the way that you reach your customers. And selling bras online comes with its challenges. I mean, there were so many hands that went up here, but like, how many of you bought a bra and then it was the wrong size and then you had to return it because it was the wrong size? Or how many of you don't actually know your bra size, or didn't know what the fabric of the bra actually felt like? And our best-selling bra comes in 71 sizes, so it's confusing. It's hard to know like where you are. Also, as women, like your boobs change size. Like, what time of your cycle is it? Have you put on 5 kilos, lost 5 kilos, and it all into your boobs? Like, our boobs change shape and size all the time, so it's really hard to get that right. Also, a lot of people would just never dream of buying a bra online and would want to try it on first. Like, that's just an absolute no. So as time went on, we realized that that was going to be a bit of an issue. We wanted to have some sort of presence in store. David Jones is a great one to do because they have so many stores. So you build a relationship with a retailer like David Jones, and suddenly you have a presence in every state, which is so great. And it means that in every capital city, someone can go in and try a bra. And if someone emails us and says like, I don't know what size I am, we can say, why don't you head into your local David Jones store and try on a bra and get fitted by one of our merchandisers, and then that person, hopefully, once they go in and they have really positive experience trying on a bra, can then go online and buy from us direct after. Yeah, we're actually just launching into another 8 stores like in the next couple of weeks, which will be really exciting.
I've got a question on that sizing that you just mentioned. Since you said that you were kind of pioneers in such diversity with sizes and shapes and colours, were you able to model your business off of a company in another country outside of Australia, or how did you even start to be able to expand to do so many sizes and shapes? Yeah,
we definitely looked for inspiration overseas. There were a couple of brands in America that when we were launching, we were looking at closely just to be like, oh, what are they doing? But when we sort of sat down and thought like, okay, what do we want the values of the business to be? One of them was like inclusivity. And that sounds very tokenistic to be like, we're super inclusive. And a lot of brands have sort of done that in the past and just been like, label is inclusive. But like when we sat down and we thought, okay, what does that actually mean? Like having an inclusive brand doesn't mean that for your photo shoots you have like an array of different size models of different races or different genders. But are you actually creating products that suit that person? So we really set out to create products that we're gonna, yes, we'll have them in the shoot, but that product is specifically designed for your 16J cut boobs or K cut boobs, or we created a gender neutral range that were specifically designed to be gender neutral, weren't just like, you can wear anything and just put it in a shoot, pretend that it was all good. Like we worked really closely with different trans women to understand what their needs were. When it comes to fitting our products, developing a product, a new bra takes probably about a year to get it right, because we could get a bra right and it can be perfect for a size 12, standard 12B, which is sort of where we start. But just because that works on a 12B doesn't mean it's going to work for our 22 double D or our 16K. And so we have to then grade every size in between and test wear it, get that on a person who's actually that size, get them to watch the bra, wear it again, give us feedback, make changes, and you just like repeat that for like months and months and months and months and months till you get it right. But it's really paid off for us because it means that once we put a product out there in the world, people will try it on and they love it, and then they tell their friends about it, and then they buy it again. And that's really how we've been able to gain a lot of traction through the business, is because the product has been designed for this beautiful, diverse community.
And are you looking to expand beyond the Australian market? And if you have already, how is that going?
Yeah, we definitely are. We're in New Zealand, and we actually sell anywhere around the world, but we don't do any advertising anywhere around the world. And the goal is to launch in the US. That's like the next big thing. Hopefully in a year or so. See when we're ready. That's the goal.
We were chatting just before, and you said that you've got a 1-year-old now. I'm interested to hear how that's been adjusting to being a mother, and what that's like, what that looks like with work, and if, you know, for a lot of us here, we might not be business owners, we might be working a 9 to 5, so how might that look?
It's really hard, I'm not gonna lie. And even before I had my baby, Louie, we were trying for a baby for a really long time. So it took about 18 months, and in the end, he's the result of IVF. So it was a long fertility struggle. There was like a million doctor's appointments and scans and operations, and there was so much that came to that. And it's easier for me, as you say, like, because I am the founder, it's kind of easy for me to just like duck out and do what I need to do, or like keep it a bit secret. But it would be really challenging. As an employee, I think you just need to be comfortable and work in an environment where you feel comfortable opening up to your employee, because it would be impossible to do so without support from your workplace. And then having a baby, I'm not gonna lie, it is really hard to balance. We rely a lot on the support of people around us, daycare now, and it's just a constant juggle and a battle. And I think as women, we are usually the ones to carry that mental load, and it's the sad reality, it's just the way it is, but it is a real challenge. It's important to put things in place that support you. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's a hot mess at the moment, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could have some pearls of wisdom, but it's tough. It's tough.
It's hard when you don't have maternity leave set out for you as well. Yeah, I can imagine. Do we have more questions? Yeah, Aviva.
So you mentioned before that you started off with physio and then you did this whole leap. What was, I guess, that final push where you said, that's it, I'm going to put all my eggs into this basket, I'm going to just launch this, this is my baby idea, and I just want to keep pushing? How do you navigate, I guess, those thoughts of
So my answer is that I haven't done that, actually. I still have my Pilates business that I haven't let go of. So, yeah, as you said, it's really hard to do. I also worked before starting Nala, I think it was about 3 years that I worked on building my online Pilates business, GoGlow, into like actually a really stable, good business. So I'm now trying to find a way to actually do both, because I don't want to walk away from that. And it is so hard to do. I think the benefit I have of my Pilates business is that I've built it in a way that it doesn't need as much time and effort for me. I don't have to work on it every day for hours. It's more of like, I do maybe a few days of work a month, and I can still put energy into it and then focus on Nala. Because really, it's hard to walk away. If you've got a stable income, it's a challenge. But I did that, but also Phil didn't. So he had left a job before, so he was in Nala 100%, and like for us that made sense. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Sorry.
Was there any point where you wanted to put all your energy into one, or you always knew you wanted to have both?
No. I would love to put my energy into one. But the reality is we have a mortgage, and I'm getting income from the Pilates business. So it's like, to be honest, it's hard to walk away from. Yeah, but I would love to, in an ideal fairyland world, just have one business that I'm focusing on. That would be great. Yeah.
So I think Nala definitely fills a gap that was needed for, especially like diversity in the lingerie area. Do you see Nala ever expanded beyond that, like into swimwear at all?
Maybe, I will say. I will leave it at that. I think as the business grows, we have to move into other categories, because there's only so many bras and undies that we can make that people actually want to buy. And once we feel like we've really got it covered, I wouldn't want to put something out there that didn't really solve a problem for our customer. So there's a limit on what we can do. So yeah, like it'll come to a point where we expand into other things, whether we swim. We're going to do sports bras soon. That's next. Stay tuned.
Going from the 3 people that you started with to now 9, did you say?
Yeah.
That's amazing. How did you kind of pivot the way you led from just a business manager to also a people manager? Did you lean on other resources? Did you get other people in to kind of create a group and a whole business with like more people than just the 3 founders?
Honestly, I'm not particularly good at it. I rely on Phil to do that part of it, because he's really good at managing people. And I think like that was within his skill set. I knew that was never going to be my skill, and I didn't really want to take it on because I had other things to focus on that I knew I would be better at. I think you hear so many stories about founders who kind of fall into these businesses, work really hard to build them up, and suddenly they're managing people and it's not their skill. Like, you hear stories like that all the time, and often it doesn't end well because the business needs more from that founder, or needs more from, or the employees need more from the founder. I think one big thing I've learned is that you need to bring people onto your team that you really trust, that are really good at their job. And we still, our business isn't a family. I know it's not a family, but I still feel like everyone who comes into our business, I kind of still see through those eyes, because I care so much about the business, and I want that person to have that same love of what we're doing and passion for what we're doing. So yeah, bringing good people and knowing when to outsource, I guess. I've outsourced to my husband.
As the owner, I guess there's 7, 9 other people, how do you go about like taking leave or holidays and stuff like that, and going, actually I need to go on want to go on holiday, or do you feel the constant need to like have to stay? And not
Yeah, no, holidays are like dead, yeah, real holidays. Yeah, and now with babies as well. So when we go on holiday, we have to plan a lot, and we both do probably at least like a couple of hours work a day, which is, yeah, it's hard, and you can't really switch off ever, yeah. It's, sorry. Yeah. We do have an amazing team and I trust them 100%, but you can never fully switch off, which is the hard part about being a founder, gotta say. Comes with other perks though, promise.
What is it like working with friends? Simi, my sister.
Yeah, so Elisa's sister is Simi, who was the first person we brought onto the team. And Simi and I have been friends since high school. She's like a really close friend of mine, and now we work together, which is amazing. Again, you kind of hear bad stories about friends breaking down because it didn't work out, but I love working with Sammy. What can I say? It's your sister. No, we've had a really positive experience. I think we're pretty good at separating the two. I mean, it's kind of the same with Phil, working with family as well. I work with Simon as well, my father-in-law, I work with my husband, and I work with a very close friend. But they're people that I trust so much because I know them. Whereas bringing someone new into the business that you don't truly know and you don't fully trust is actually a very different experience. So I trust Sim with everything. I fully trust her 100%. And so that's a really beautiful thing. And when we hang out outside of work, we don't just sit there talking about work because we try and keep it separate. I guess you've just got to build good boundaries into it. But I wouldn't always recommend it.
Yeah.
I think with Simi, Sim oversees all of our product, and she's so good at that, and that's why we brought her into the business, because we knew she would be perfect for that, and she's so skilled and so good at what she does. And so that's why we brought her in. But I think if you weren't fully 100% confident in that friend skills and you were doing it just to give him a job or give him a go, I'd say it's probably not the best idea because it could turn possibly. Yeah.
I'm assuming with this question that you do social media marketing. So just over the last 5 years, or with which happened COVID, all the stuff lately, is there any observations or anything that you might suggest for people who are using it? Because I just noticed recently they've changed a few things that when you want to put certain demographics or different things in, they've changed some of that as well.
Yeah, there's been a lot of change over the past 5 years in the way you can advertise. You can't be as specific anymore with your targeting. I think that's probably what you're referring to. Yeah, it is challenging, I'd say that. I think the best advice I'd give is try not to resist all the changes, because you actually can't win against some of these. You can't win against these corporations. You've got to kind of lean into the changes and do your best to adapt as quickly as possible. And I think that comes with, honestly, anything with business. If you dwell on things too long, then you're already losing. Once something changes, you need to be really quick and adapt to that quickly and move on, try and find a solution and then move on. When it comes to our advertising account, we're running literally hundreds of ads at once. So we really put a lot of emphasis and effort into our content. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have, if you spend time on Instagram, you've probably seen our ads. We work with creators to create lots of content, both in-house, and we work with creators that will pay us and product to that create stuff for us. We have the graphic designer who's constantly churning out ads, and it's just this content beast, which is just the nature of business today. I feel like half our team is just creating good content. Yeah.
I have 2 questions. The first one, I apologise if you already covered this. Where did the name Nala actually come from? And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I don't have such a good story for Nala. Sorry. The business was actually called something else. We called it Jungle. It was called Jungle, and we did all of our branding with Jungle, and then we ran into this problem with trademark. There's this t-shirt brand, I don't know if anyone's heard of it, called Jungles. They actually have very cool stuff, which makes me feel better about it, because if it wasn't good, then I'd be like you didn't even do anything good with the cool name. So we had to change the name, and we wanted something jungly, and Nala's the queen of the jungle, which I liked, and we just went with it. Yeah. And then the other person was younger self. I would say it would be celebrate more of the wins along the way. I think with business, you're always pushing the goalpost a little bit further. So like when we launched, it was would anyone even buy a bra? right? And then we had a really good day. That first day we launched to friends and family. Everyone was so supportive and like got all these sales and like that was like the best thing ever. But then you're like, okay, what's next? And then you have new targets and new targets and new targets. And like now I sit here like talking about Nala to a room full of women and I'm like, this is wild. Even when you sent me like, no, who sent it to me? Ali, you sent me the flyer of tonight. And I got like genuinely embarrassed because I didn't realize that I was the speaker. I thought there was gonna be like multiple speakers. I was like, that is mortifying. So yeah, I think that would be my advice. Celebrate the wins, like properly celebrate the wins along the way and like be proud of everything you do along the journey.
How have you navigated this brand in the Jewish community? Because obviously there are different people that might have more conservative views and stuff, and Nala's quite a forward-thinking, progressive brand.
Interesting question. It hasn't really crossed my mind, to be honest. I think like the values of the brand are all about like, one, obviously inclusivity, but representation, and part of our strategy was kind of to be a bit naughty and out there. I mean, I'm not in the content like walking down the street in my bra and undies, but if someone else wants to, like, power to you, you know? Yeah, it doesn't really limit me, to be honest. If someone's not comfortable with it, they can unfollow. And we get lots of unfollows when we post things like that, so it doesn't stop people. Yeah.
Sorry, question?
What kind of goals, I know you guys are working with some really cool fabrics, so what kind of goals is Nala working towards in terms of sustainability and giving back?
Yeah, good question. We're probably due to sit down and discuss our future goals even more. I think we like set out, when we started the business, we had like really good goals in terms of sustainability, but now that we're a few years in, we're probably like set to sort of recalibrate and make new goals. I'd love to one day become a B Corp. That would be like unreal to get that certification. And be net zero, that would be awesome. But yeah, it's a good reminder for us to do it, really.
Oh yeah, I was thinking, what actually goes in the process from like idea to actually selling to on-site and to people for a product, and how you actually go, this is what I want to make, and how you get it to the end?
Yeah, so the ideas for products usually come from customers requesting certain things. We've found that our best products are products that either fill a gap that doesn't exist or solve a problem for our customer that they need. So like our best-selling bra, Sport Y-Free bra, is like a Y-Free bra specifically designed for big boobs because there wasn't something like that existed. Initially when we did some market research before we launched, and the overwhelming feedback was like, I want a strapless bra that's actually comfortable. So that was like our goal, we want to do that. So we listen to our customers what they want, so that's sort of where it comes from. And then once we have an idea, we discuss like the aesthetic of what it's going to look like, and we work with our design team who are like the mathematicians around like how to actually construct a bra, which is so much more technical than I ever imagined. And then we get one sample of that bra in one size, we make changes and we make that one bra perfect. And then once we make that one bra perfect, we then make it in a range of different sizes. And then we work with our factories to make samples in those sizes. And then it's just like a cycle of like feedback and send it back and feedback and send it back. And we make changes, different sizes or the style. And then that process is like probably close to a year, really, by the time it's over. So it's really long. It's a really long process until we're finally happy with the product and it kind of gets the tick of approval, and then the factory gets to work making it. And even our existing products that we've been making for a long time, once we say, okay, we need more of that bra, it takes like 5 months to get it into our warehouse ready to send out to customers. So it's a long process, which means we have to plan quite far ahead, which is a huge challenge. But then once we put the order in and once we get the bras into our warehouse, it means we can start then selling them. Yeah, we do it upstairs here. There's our design room upstairs. That's where all the secrets are for you guys if you want to have a little nosy peek around what's coming.
Thank you everyone for your questions. Oh, we have one more. We'll do one last
question. Like financially, in terms of running your business, are you profitable yet?
Yeah.
And do you ever like consider a strategic partner or anything starting out?
Do you mean in terms of like financial support?
Yeah,
you mean?
like open fundraising.
Oh, I could open fundraiser. We didn't need to, which was like the position that we were in. Oh, sorry, my phone.
We didn't need to, we were lucky, so we had personal investment, but like otherwise, yeah, 100%. I've seen brands do like amazing like crowdsourcing, crowd fundraising campaigns. It's very cool. Plus it means you get like an inbuilt, you get your customers, you have people who are then so invested as well in making the product the best it can possibly be, which is amazing as well, yeah.
Thank you. We'll probably wrap it up there. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
We're very, very grateful that you agreed to chat with us today, and it facilitated all of us to come together here and hopefully network and build some connections as probably future young female founders as well. It's really important to us to have this space where we can all make connections and support each other, as you said, build those female connections. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And also thanks to Nuni for being a great facilitator. Yeah, thank you again, Chloe, because I think your vision of diversity and inclusion is something I definitely needed as a teenager in David Jones and in Maya, and it's really amazing to hear from you and your story. And also everyone, so Chloe has kindly gifted everyone 20% off. That's your good gift bag that you were promised. So keep your inboxes peeled. Yeah, let's give Chloe another round. Oh, and we have a gift for you, so thank you so much. Thank you. And I also think what Nuni was saying about connecting as females, that's what we're trying to do here with YJP Women. And we have other events called under YJP Next Gen that connect all young Jewish professionals together, and we have some pretty big events coming up, so keep your eyes peeled on our social medias. Now we have our raffle. So Chloe also gifted us $200 to give to one lucky attendee. Drum roll. All right, thank you everyone for coming. No, nothing here. It'll be emailed. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, online voucher. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming. Please help yourself to some more drinks and food, and yeah, we'll see you around.